We've got a Fox News alert. One person shot, at least one officer hurt in a second straight night of mayhem in Milwaukee. Protesters lighting cars on fire and businesses, throwing rocks and bricks at cops. They are angry over the death of a 23-year-old man by the name of Sylville Smith. He was shot dead by police Saturday after he refused to drop a stolen gun he was carrying with 23 rounds in it. Here right now with her reaction is Dr. Alveda King, the niece of Martin Luther King Jr. She is a Fox News contributor. Good morning to you, Dr. King.
Thank you so much, and good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to point out first that we are dealing with a flawed system, not a broken system, but a flawed system. In the 1950s and 60s, we faced the exact same types of terrorized reactions and fear and anger. But the solutions, of course, are going to be different. So I believe we can work on this system, ask the people to not be frightened, and to direct the anger into solutions instead of just fear and anarchy.
Absolutely. But you know what, Dr. King, we have had so many different messages from people in places of prominence over the last couple of years. You would like to see our nation's leaders, spiritual leaders, political leaders, all leaders, get on the same page, right?
We need to be on the same page, whether we're in the education world, the business world, the medical world, certainly the spiritual world, the political world. My dad and my uncle, A.D. King, Martin Luther King Jr., had a powerful scripture. Let righteousness roll down as waters and justice like a mighty stream. So righteousness and justice need to come together. And when we do that, if the leaders will not encourage the people to be fearful and reactive, we do really not need martial law. We don't need martial law with the federal government sending soldiers into the communities and shutting everything down. But I believe our leaders and all of the people of America, because we actually still live in a great nation. So the answer, and it's not even racism all the time, because we're one human race, Act 1726. So we need to come together, realize that we are brothers and sisters, or need to become brothers and sisters. And I believe that our leaders can help us to do that.
Well, obviously this is a big story of import all across the country. The President of the United States, we understand, has been made aware of what was going on. Yesterday he was golfing, and some of the reporters were close enough to bark out some questions. Did they ask him about this? Let's listen.
That me and you. There were two that came this way.
You got one on the road back up here. The tireless one. That's me. Back up here on the road. This way.
The most important point is neither of them are mine.
Okay, are you in the fairway?
That's me.
Okay, for you.
So the reporters and the president talking about how they were searching for some of his golfing companions' balls. He was in the fairway. It would have been nice to get a question about what is going on in Milwaukee. Is the president on the right page when it comes to Milwaukee and other things regarding this, Dr. King?
I believe that the president really should take a page from the book of A.D. King, Martin Luther King Jr., and as a national leader, he doesn't have to be a pastor or a preacher, he's the president, but to come to a point of some spirituality and encourage the people not to be fearful. Also, we should not be divided into separate races because we are one human race. And so, you know, what was remarkable to me, I heard a chant, not Black Lives Matter, but Black Power. That's from the 50s and the 60s, when that same type of attitude tried to divide America. Well, what about human power? What about Americans coming together with understanding, fixing a flawed system together, putting America back to work, giving people jobs, good education, and good values? That can really happen, and I think the president would have an opportunity, as he's hitting away at those balls, to think about that.
While he's out on vacation. All right. Dr. Alveda King joining us today from Atlanta. Ma'am, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. What do you think about that? Email us, friends at Fox News.